Hi, I'm Rob, and this is Sober Sundays. A series, is it a series? It's just me putting videos out on Sunday, really. It's me sharing my wisdom, or probably more like thoughts. It's me sharing whatever has popped into my little head about all things addiction, sobriety in the last week. And I'm going to be sharing them with you in the hope that perhaps me talking a bit more about my experiences could perhaps help some people out there, whether it's you or someone you know that's struggling with addiction. So a couple of weeks ago, someone messaged and said, how do you stay sober while maintaining friendships with people that you think might be a bad influence? This is a great question, and it's actually something they got us to cover in rehab. One of the exercises they got us to do was write down essentially a list of friends that you thought would be supportive and those that you thought might be a bad influence. And their advice, which is probably mine, is essentially that you've got to really probably think about keeping those people at arm's length. I think one of the most important ideas I wrapped my head around in rehab was that my sobriety is the most important thing in my life. If I don't have that, everything else goes to shit. Once you wrap your head around that, it becomes quite obvious that anything that's going to jeopardize your sobriety is really something you want to steer clear of. If, however, I would say that you do really want to maintain some kind of relationship with someone like that, I would just be really careful about the environment you put yourselves in with them. I.e., I wouldn't go to the pub with them. If you're going to meet up with someone like that, I would recommend, recommend that you meet up for a coffee, or you go to the gym with them, or go for a walk, or go for a run, somewhere that's about as far as humanly possible away from the idea of getting a drink or getting a bag in. I would then probably have quite an honest conversation with them. And you've got to be really clear. Explain where you are. Explain that you are now sober, and that if they want to keep a friendship with you, they're going to have to respect that. And I think once you kind of lay your cards on the table like that, if someone isn't going to respect that, then I guess you probably don't want to spend too much time with them anyway. For me, I was very fortunate that I can't think of anyone in my friends and family that was anything other but incredibly supportive. So I was really lucky like that. And I think if you're trying to organize your list of people that you want to stay in touch with and those that you don't, I think anyone that thinks that you were more fun or you were a better version of yourself while you're using, I think they need to go probably on the naughty list and keep them at arm's length. The other thing I would say is just be a bit wary of those people who are not necessarily deliberately trying to pull you back to the dark side. But I found in the times where I've struggled, or certainly in the time where I experienced relapse, having those conversations with people that glamorize usage, where you kind of hark back to the good old days, and often it can be something as innocent as kind of sharing old war stories of times you've got on it, or funny stories. In our addict minds, that starts to glamorize it, and we start to edit out the kind of negatives and the downsides, and we just start to kind of look back with rose-tinted glasses, kind of the baby steps towards falling back into usage. So again, that's probably something else I'd be really wary of. I hope that's helpful. There'll be another one of these wild ramblings next week. Take care, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and have a good start to the week.